Alright, we're going to be on Berlin, guys, in the LHMTV. I have been playing this vehicle from time to time, trying to go up the British light line, and Berlin is kind of a garbage map for light tanks. It really is. I don't recommend that you be aggressive on this map. When they changed this map, they just made it awful for lights. They tried to throw in a few bushes here. Oh, like hip hip hooray, light tanks can spot now, but this entire map is just trash, and if Wargaming thinks it's good for light tanks, they're, on some drugs, man, because it's awful. It's really just another brawling zone they added over here. But anyway, we're going to be in the LHMTV, guys, and I really, really like this tank, actually. The DPM is awful, like the reload time is really long on this vehicle, but for whatever reason, I find that I just really play this thing well. Every game I have in it, I always feel like I'm playing very smart and just really thinking through everything, and it's got great concealment, right? So that's why I really, really enjoy playing this vehicle, and also the penetration is really, really good. You have an average damage of 230 and 226 millimeters of penetration on the standard rounds, 1020 shell velocity, and then these you have 200, again 230 damage, obviously 258 millimeters of pen, and 12, almost 1300 meters of shell velocity, meters a second, right? So this tank, like the gun, is really good. It's not super accurate, but I just find that the penetration is so great and the shell velocity is so great on this thing that's why I tend to have good games in it. Because I know the reload is long, it's like I take my time with all my shots, and I don't know why, guys, but I just find this tank to be pretty fun to play, and I really think it has to do with that penetration value on the standard rounds. The only thing that sucks about it is you only get 25 rounds, so you kind of have to keep this in mind. I just load 10 APCRs because, again, 15 rounds, so I do 15 here, but you have 226 millimeters of penetration on the standards. Like if this was 170 or 180 or something, then I would consider, I'm trying to get a shot to this guy, but he's wiggling back and forth like a maniac, and it makes sense, right? But he's going to end up coming to the middle of this map, I guess, to try and get shots going, like maybe this direction or whatever. But in any case, guys, like when you have 226 millimeters of pen on the standards, like I used to have this 10-15, but you might as well just do 15-10 because you really don't need the extra 30 millimeters of penetration for that much. Like if you're loading these rounds, you're going up against like the side plate of a mouse or something like that. Like pretty much 226 is always going to be good enough, because on the LT432, for instance, the gold rounds are 218 millimeters of penetration. So you see what I'm saying here? You have 8 more millimeters of penetration on the standard rounds on this tank than the LT432 has on the gold rounds. So that's why I just load the APs, man. Like just load the APs, throw in a few APCRs just in case you need them. So again, I do 15-10, but you might get away with like even 25 or something like that. Like 20 and 5, but totally up to you. Again, 25 shells, that's your max shell count, so that's one of the only big downsides of this tank. Now watch the way this gun is working, man. Like it's just, I don't know what it is, guys, like, but when you are able to back yourself out, because the turret is on the edge here, like on the very end of the tank, rather the back of the tank, it's very easy to just poke out and take these shots by backing out instead of going, front ways. Another thing to keep in mind with this tank is the gun depression and elevation angles when you have the turret to the side is a little funky. You have to be very mindful of that, and I think even when you're turned around entirely. But when you're facing front, you do have a good amount of elevation. It's very similar to the AMX 12T, 1375, and that Batchat 12T and all that. A lot of those tanks have the same problem. At this point, what I'm thinking is running back to this corner, because what happens on Berlin a lot of times is people will end up, if they win the K line, they'll just YOLO like into this area of the map. So I'm like, all right, man, let me just come to this corner and hold this. And the way this works, depending on what tank you're in, if you see the way this works, there's like this little piece of, like a bunch of pieces of wood here or whatever, you can actually shoot like through these kind of and stay relatively safe. So I'm constantly backing out here. I'm waiting for the T-44 and the Lion and all these guys to push in. And if these guys pushed in, they would have easily won this game. But you're going to see that they continuously try and poke it. I'm able to continuously get shots into them. And we basically end up winning this game, and I do like 4,000 damage or something like that. So here they come. I'm going to wait and take my shot into the Lion, because the Lion is a bigger threat here than the T-44, right? So just watch my camera view now. You're going to see kind of how I make this spot work, right? We're able to literally shoot through that wood, and the T-44 can't even get a shot. So now I'm looking for that shot once more, but the T-44 kind of moves. I'm trying to get it, and he just moves enough where I can't quite get through that wood anymore. But I'm going to continue poking this, and we'll kind of go on 2 times here, and I'll back out now. So you can see I'm just continuously taking shots at these guys. I'm not even getting spotted for that because of just game mechanics, you know, with the bushes there. I'm going to take another shot into the Lion, and I'm just going to continuously poke this. These guys should have YOLO'd. They made the big mistake of not YOLOing, and shame on them, right? We profit from this. Again, Lion's poking out again. Like, this is easy for me, right? This is so easy to just continuously poke this. And again, with the LHMTV, it's nice because you can back out and you have the turret right at the back here, and it makes it very, very easy to poke, right? Take another shot there into the Lion, and now watch this little duel here. The Lion's going to come around. You can see it from my camera angle. I'm going to hit him again, and this guy just wasn't a great player, man. Like, this guy could have easily taken advantage of me. He didn't, and oh well, man. Sometimes you get these players. So I'm going to take a shot into the T-44 here. I'm very lucky that I light this guy on fire, because now it just makes him basically a one-shot for me if I'm able to roll, like, you know, decent, right? Because it's 230, he's at 227 HP. We end up getting a decent roll there, and we clean him up, and now I don't have to take another shot from him. And that's it, guys. 3,200 damage we have here, but we've held this side of the map, and now it's just a matter of kind of, you know, bringing the W home, right? We got to still be careful a little bit with our HP, but Artie is able to clean that guy up there, and now it's just a standard B. This shot misses, unfortunately, but I'm gonna, you know, wait till he dies. I didn't even have to poke out again. I thought I poked out and shot him again, but he dies, and that's it, guys. Like, we won this whole side of the map because these guys were so passive, right? Don't be passive. Like, if you have the chance to push, guys, because, you know, all these guys just sat around waiting for me to get all these shots into them, and we held them down, and we won the game because of it, right? And look at my W and 8, man. Like, this game was absolutely insane for a light tank, right? So I'm going to poke out here. The Arties are getting spotted. I want to take my shot at the TVP, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to pause here, get my shot into the FV. You'll see here I get my shot into the FV right there, because I want, you know, more damage. So, and then the TVP is chasing me. And now at this point, like, this guy is actually making a really dumb play. And I'm just going to show you this because he could have went after the even here. Maybe the even wasn't spotted yet, but if the even was spotted, he should not be chasing me, right? He should go after the even and then keep going this way. He's at 930 HP. He takes the even out, and then he comes after me, takes me out, and then all he has to deal with is the 430U. Right? And the 430U is way over here now. He doesn't necessarily know this, but he only has that and the 2 Arties. Instead, he throws this whole game away, right, by coming after me, allowing the 430U to continue advancing, right, and allowing the even, who's only 60 HP, he only needed 1 shot to the even, to now press me as well. So just watch how this kind of turns out, and he misses that shot as well, right? So he misses that shot. This guy eventually, I think, is about to clean me up, but then Artie kind of hits him there, and this guy just wasn't a great player, man. And even comes around and also hits him, and now I just dive in the water and it's a GG. But dude, don't do this if you're the TVP in this situation. Like, you gotta play smarter than this, man. This game was not over. This guy had full HP as he was coming to chase me, right? If you ignore the first shot I got into him. But this guy was basically full HP. Dude, go after the even first and then come after me. Like, he could have easily been able to hit the even, come after me, clean me up, and still be alive to try and deal with the 430U, right? Now, the 430U is not a great player, but he did have full HP. But again, guys, like, always, like, don't throw your tank away just to go after one person. Like, this was such a stupid play on his part. I don't mean to insult him, but, like, I want to show you guys everything in this game, and, like, you know, this is a mistake, man. Like, do your best to try and win the game, you know? Like, don't just YOLO after someone if it's still sort of a close game like this, right? But in any case, we're able to win this game, guys. I do 4k damage, 525 assist, and we'll take a look at the emplates real quick, and I'll let you guys go. So it was a mastery for me. We got a high caliber, actually. 4,084 damage, 2 kills, 8 module damage, 559 assist. And what do we have for the team score? I was top here, 1421 experience. That's a lot, man. And the even 90 had 2200 damage. Would you believe this? An LHMTV and an even 90 doing well over 6,000 damage combined between the two of them, right? Look at this. This is the most strangest thing I've ever seen, guys. We did have an E3 do 3,300 damage, but this makes sense, right? The Tiger also had 1,400, Sue, Boris gear, but two light tanks with like the worst DPM ever, doing okay, 6,000 plus damage and 7 kills combined, man. Like, look at this, man. This is insane and probably one of the rarest things you'll ever see. Like, I can't emphasize this enough, guys. Like, what the heck is going on here? Like 6,300 damage combined from the two of us and 7 kills. Like, oh my god, man. Like, these are the worst tanks to do damage in. And somehow, we made this work, right? And we were both on top here. And look at our experience numbers. I mean, just incredible. An incredible game, guys. And I was very happy to, have this game with this even 90, and I hope he enjoyed it as much as I did, right? So, here's the detailed report, guys. We fired 21 shots. We hit 18, penned 18 of them, and hit 20. So this is good. To shoot 21 shots and pen 18, like, that's pretty dang good. That's why we're able to get 4K damage. And I don't know, the gun on this tank just works for me, guys. 10-minute game, so we had time to kind of get all that damage, and we got a little bit of assist with it as well, so we end up with like 4,600 combined. Not bad at all. I am running bounty optics on this thing, guys, and the bounty low noise exhaust. So I know some people like to see like one skill crew, no, heavy equipment and all that, or bounty equipment, improved equipment. But yeah, I am running this thing pretty stacked out because, it's the tank that I'm going to be playing right now. I don't have a lot of battles in it, so I would like to be somewhat competitive in this thing and get the most experience I can so that I can get up to the G-SOAR, if that makes sense. And yeah, with this current setup, we have almost 49% concealment, guys, which is pretty crazy. I will say the view range is not great on this thing. Even with situational awareness, and we have half of the recon here, and the bounty optics, it's like 460 something. So yeah, the view range is not that great on this thing compared to like the Hawk 30, but it does work, and I do run the CVS still in the scouting slot, so that helps as well. Hope this was informative for you guys. I know we didn't do a lot of strategy when talking about Berlin, but Berlin is honestly just a garbage map. I would try and stay out of the mid on this map. So the middle of this map, you have this bunker, right? You are so exposed here, you have no idea like how many people can get shots into you. I just would avoid going here entirely. Like, if you're really creative, you can make it work. Other than that, guys, if you're in a passive scout, just try and run these little ridge lines right here and get into these bushes. It's all you can really do, or you just sit where I was, get the shots you can get in these little pockets, and when you have to, you retreat back to this corner here, and you can retreat back to like maybe this corner right here by this building, or even into this bush line back here, right? Or you can go to like where the FV is on the other side here as well when you have to retreat, and just try and hold down the south. That's all you can do, man, unless you're going to go to the north and pretend you're a heavy tank. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Berlin is just, there's not much to explain on Berlin. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Hope it's informative, and that's all, guys. Sub if you enjoy this content and it's helping you out. Like, comment with any questions, concerns, whatever. I will get back to you, and that's all. Take care, guys. Hope you have a good day. Bye-bye now.